So before we jump into today's video, I want to ask everybody watching this right now a question. How much money would it take for you to be able to change your life for the better? And I want you to be genuinely honest with yourself. How much would it take? Would it take like maybe just a few $100s extra a month so that way you can be able to have a little bit of money left over to be able to save? Or would it be maybe a couple $1,000s a month so that way you can get out of whatever, if you're in like a crappy situation, maybe make that better, or be able to move out on your own, or be able to have more free time and be able to do more things with your time that you don't have available at the moment. And so after you've answered that question honestly, I actually want you guys to drop it down in the comments down below. I want to help you guys get to that position because from my experience, whenever I've asked this question before, usually it's between like $1,000 and $10,000 a month the average person needs in order to be able to change their life and for the better. And it's not necessarily usually like some absurd amount of money. Yeah, some people have high aspirations and want to be able to make like $50,000 a month because then they'll be able to do whatever they want, not to listen to anybody, but be realistic with yourself. They say the average person would be able to have everything that they would need in life for $72,000 a year. And when you think about it, that's not really all that much money. That's about $6,000 a month. And I can definitely help you guys get to that point at least, or be able to free up a lot of your time. Maybe you're working a full-time or like a salary paid position where it's like literally taking up like 12 hours a day or 16 hours a day. You're just working nonstop. I want to help you guys be able to have a lot more free time, and then on top of that, be able to do more with your life. Maybe spend more time with friends and family, be able to go on more trips, be able to maybe get a cool car, whatever your goals or whatever makes you happy. I want to be able to help you guys do that. And I'm going to be honest with you guys inside this video. You may not like the answers that I give you, but I'm going to be as sincere as possible with how I can help you out in that circumstance. So, first of all, if it turns out, like, let's say that you need about $1,000 a month. If you are like $1,000 extra a month, so let's say that you're working a 9-to-5 job, that's about 8 hours a day. If like really your goal to like be able to maybe be able to invest more, be able to get into a business like real estate wholesaling, you'll need like $1,000 more a month, and you're working a 9-to-5 job, then I really recommend that you go out there and get a second job. Or go get a job where you maybe make commission so that way you can kind of really impact what your income looks like. And just get something that like the most instant revenue that you could generate pretty quickly if it's a decently small amount. When I say decently small, I mean like $3,000 a month or less. Then honestly, just go get a second job. Now I know a lot of you are going to hate this answer, and this isn't the only answer I'm going to give you guys, but if you just go get a job and just start setting aside some of that money that you're making extra, I mean, if you're able to afford all the bills that you already have, and then you have a side job as well, you can start saving up that money to invest into other things. And for the most part, for most people getting into a business like real estate wholesaling, it's not necessarily a fully time intensive thing where you got to work on it like 12 hours a day. Honestly, you can get by with probably working like an hour to 2 hours a day as long as it's consistent and you're efficient with your time. You're putting in the time to be able to grow this business. Now, if you're working a side job, let's say it's like an extra 4 hours a day, add that to the 9 hours that you're at your other job, your 9-to-5, that is about 13 hours of the day. We'll even include travel, commuting, whatever it may be. We'll say 14 hours a day that you're working. You still have a little bit of an additional time. Like you still have, like the average person, let's say you got to sleep 8 hours a day. You still have about like 2 hours a day to work with. You can spend like an hour of that with friends and family, enjoying your day or whatever, and then the other hour working towards the business. It's totally possible. I know like a lot of you watching this really don't want to do that though. But there are some times in your life where you got to do things that you don't necessarily want to do, but it's for the better in the long run. And learning that skill of just becoming very disciplined in growing like everything out in the long term, then you're going to be able to become a lot more successful in the future. And this is something that I had a tough time learning, or I like slowly kind of learned over time that things just, they don't happen overnight. It happens over a period of time, and what your actions are in the day-to-day life look like are able to impact what that future looks like. So another circumstance as well is a lot of you probably are spending a lot of money every single month on unnecessary things, like buying the most expensive things when that isn't really necessary. Maybe it'd be clothing. Maybe it'd be you have a car payment that's like $500 a month, which is pretty ridiculous for a lot of people that are making like less than, let's say, for example, $72,000 a year. So if you're not making all that much money, then maybe get rid of the car and get a cheaper car. So both of these answers, I know a lot of you are going to hate, but it's the most truthful answer I can give you as far as for the average person watching this video. Now, let's say that you want to be able to have more free time so that way you can grow your business. Then I really recommend that you just start setting aside money, maybe pick up a side job, and just what you got to do is consistently show up and keep trying to work on the business. Maybe work a part-time job for maybe a month so that way you have the money to invest, or you can reasonably invest a certain amount of time into growing whatever business it is that you're trying to grow. So it's not something that literally you just start doing and then it just all of a sudden becomes successful. You can invest like tens of thousands of dollars into wholesaling, but it's not going to happen overnight. If you invest tens of thousands of dollars into growing this business or be able to start generating revenue from flipping these houses or flipping these contracts, it's going to still take like at least minimal a few weeks, which most people don't have the patience to wait that long. So just figure out what your goals are, at least to be able to give you more free time, and start trying to save up and start to grow something that is able to grow without any limits, like the average 9 to 5. Like, let's say that I'm working at McDonald's, for example. Let's say the salary is $10 an hour, which some places that's pretty bad, other places that's pretty good. So let's say you're getting paid $10 an hour. Let's say and then you're working there after like 6 months, and then they decide to promote you to a manager. I don't know how much managers make. I don't know what the benefits look like. Let's just say you get promoted to $20 an hour. You're kind of like stuck at these different levels that the company sets you at, as far as like what your position is in the company. A lot of people, they're managers like the rest of their lives at McDonald's, which is kind of crazy to think about, at least for me personally. But just being stuck at all these different positions that are set up inside of someone else's company. Now, what you can do with that same amount of time, let's say that you invest maybe even just an hour, 30 minutes every single day towards growing something yourself, you have no limit on how much money you can make. There is no, oh, you're only making $10 an hour, oh, you're making $20 an hour. You're closing $10,000 a month, you're closing $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month, or even some of these really intermediate steps, like even just an extra $1,000 a month, an extra $5,000 a month. For the average person, this would be life-changing for them, but most people aren't willing to invest the time or even like do step 1 or 2 that I gave you on this list. They're not even willing to give themselves the opportunity to grow as a person, be able to have more free time, or be able to have more money to invest into growing their lives off to the next level. Now, I know this kind of seems like I'm complaining that the average person just straight up sucks or whatever, and I'm definitely not saying that, and I'm not, I don't want to kind of put myself on a platform in any way, shape, or form, but what I do know is a lot of people are lazy, and a lot of people want success at the same time. Those are both very conflicting answers, if you think about it. If you want to be successful, but you also don't want to put in that much work, you don't want to do things different. So, for those of you that want to be able to change their life, take some of these steps seriously. Just start investing a little bit of time into growing something that's going to be able to grow into something you could have never imagined possible. It's starting to happen more and more to me every single day. It seems like I just keep hitting new goals, new records that I didn't think I could possibly ever make in my entire lifetime, or at least until the age of 40, and I'm only 20 years old. If I'm able to learn and figure out a lot of this stuff, and I'll be honest with you guys as well, I've been doing a lot of this stuff for about 2 years now. That's about the time when I started to become self-employed. Now, those 2 years, I've just consistently been pushing at it. At the beginning, was I making a lot of money? Not necessarily. I would have some decent sized amount of money come in, and then I wouldn't see anything for a decent amount of time, and then I would close more deals, and then it would get more consistent, and then went all away, and then I built up more revenue sources. So now I have I counted it up the other day, and I have like 7 or 8 income streams now, and I didn't even realize it. It's crazy. Like, all these different income streams are growing without me necessarily putting in the time to grow some of these income sources. They're completely 100% passive. But had I not given myself the opportunity, had I been lazy and not tried to make something for myself, I would have never been in this position today. And you can even, like, if you knew me personally 2 years ago, you would know that the battery died on me right as I was wrapping this up. But anyways, I was really never I didn't know anything, honestly, a couple years ago, but I gave myself a chance. I gave myself the opportunity to get to this point, and now I've been introduced to so many more opportunities than I could have ever imagined personally. So go out there, take action, and change something up. Do it. Don't just do it for yourself. Don't just do it for selfish reasons. Do it so that way you can have the more free time to spend time with your family. Do it so that way you have more abilities to be able to donate to people, or to help raise funds for different organizations, or be able to just help others. Like, I just love helping people, and that's one of my main motivational reasons, is to be able to help those that are around me, and be able to help those that are willing to give, be able to trust me to be able to help them generate revenue, and I am able to provide for them to be able to have them be able to get success in whatever business I'm trying to help that person out with. So anyways, if you got any sort of value out of this video, I would really appreciate it if you dropped a like down below. Also, if you haven't already and you made it to this point, make sure you join the fam, join the gang by hitting the subscribe button down below, because we do upload every day here on the channel. So anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Like always, I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Peace.